What's going on, Bottom Line viewers? It's Mitch here of the Bottom Line View, and with the Super Bowl this Sunday, I wanted to break down each team's chances in this Super Bowl and give you my thoughts on how each team can walk into Super Bowl 52 and walk out Super Bowl champions. This first video, we'll be discussing the Philadelphia Eagles and how the Eagles can win their first Super Bowl in franchise history against the Patriots this Sunday in the Super Bowl. I'm going to break it down offensively, defensively, starting with the offense, how the Eagles can beat the Patriots defense, and then how the Eagles defense can slow down Tom Brady and that offense. Again, starting with the offense, for me, against the Patriots, with the way that the Eagles run their offense, for them to be successful with Nick Foles at the helm, they need to test the Pats in the run game. Now, the Patriots have been pretty good against the run as of late, especially in the playoffs against Jacksonville and Tennessee. But the Eagles run a different style of run game that I think can give the Patriots some fits in this game. I think the Eagles can move those linebackers, shift them, move them side to side, test the edges, test James Harrison, the old man, test Kyle Van Noy, test that D-line against the run early and often. Get Jay Ajayi moving in the shotgun, run a lot out of 3 receiver sets in that shotgun, force the Patriots to play a nickel defense. Don't allow them, like the Jaguars and the Titans did in base personnel, don't allow them to sit there with 5 D linemen, 3 linebackers, whatever the case may be. Force them into nickel sets where they have that third corner on the field and run it, and run it from side to side. Because that is how the Patriots have been beaten this season against the run, is moving side to side. Because they're not a very fast defense overall. And they're not a very athletic defense. So I think that the Eagles need to get Jay Ajayi moving side to side. And, that's how the run game should operate. You can incorporate some play actions, some RPOs off of those runs. But first off, you need to get that run established. If you do not get the run established on offense, it's going to be tough for the Eagles to score a lot of points and keep up with Tom Brady on the opposite side of the ball. Because as an offense, Tom Brady is going to score points. He's going to score points. So you need to match him, and you need to come out, and you need to be aggressive, but you also need to do what you do best. And that's running the ball, and that should be running from the shotgun sets side to side. Now, I think that incorporating that, you also have to be pulling your center, who's by many considered this season the best center in the league. Kelsey has been great, phenomenal in the run game at pulling, running and pulling. So what a pull means, if you're unfamiliar, is basically he's lead blocks for the running back, and Kelsey goes out there and he uses his athleticism. And the thing about the Eagles is their athleticism on the offensive line has dominated many teams, and I think that they can dominate and physically impose themselves on this Patriots defense. And if they can do that and incorporate their run game with some pulling of Kelsey, some pulling of Brandon Brooks, then they'll be successful in this game offensively. And again, that's running out of shotgun versus the nickel sets. Then from there, you can start picking on their linebackers. You can start taking and a Landon Roberts and using those RPOs, using those play actions, and throwing it over his head. He's a very instinctful player. He's very, very aggressive in the run game, Landon Roberts is, and you can take advantage of that. Also, you need to take advantage of it on conventional passing downs. When it's 3rd and 5, third and manageable, if you're able to run the ball and get into 3rd and manageable situations, which is ideal for the Eagles, seeing as how, no team likes to sit in 3rd and longs, but especially when you have a backup quarterback, no matter how great he played against the Vikings, Nick Foles is going to have to be in manageable situations because this Patriots pass defense is pretty good. They have a good secondary, and Belichick and Patricia are able to scheme up some blitzes and some ways to get pressure on 3rd and longs. So by keeping it in 3rd and manageable, you're able to attack those linebackers more frequently. by using guys like Clement in the passing game from the running back position, Jay Ajayi in the screen game, also using a secondary tight end option like Trey Burton may be matched up on a linebacker like a Kyle Van Noy, like a Landon Roberts in those situations, because the Patriots do have good corners, they do have good safeties. Those guys are going to more often than not be covering your receivers at least pretty well. And yeah, you're going to get breaks from your receivers, but I think those matchups that not enough teams take advantage of is targeting the Patriots linebackers in coverage. And I think they should definitely do that on third manageable and first down, being aggressive and getting after it. I think that the Eagles, New England does play a pretty conservative defense. They're considered by many to be a bend but don't break style of defense. They play great red zone defense. They force you into field goals. And I think that New England is definitely going to not get too far away from that. I could see New England, and going into the New England preview a little bit, I could see them getting a little bit more aggressive. But if they do play that conservative game, especially early on in the game, which they tend to do, they tend to sort of let you make your moves and then adjust to you. I think that Philadelphia should take advantage of that conservative defense that New England's going to throw out there, because by going after it, by being aggressive early on, you're able to allow Nick Foles to get comfortable, to get into the game, and that's what the Eagles want to do. If Nick Foles is rattled early on, all of a sudden the confidence that he had against Minnesota is now washed away. Now he's thinking about, oh my God, I'm playing Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, I'm playing the Patriots, I'm playing Bill Belichick, and now he's starting to think about all these things. But if you get him comfortable, some short passes, some throws to the flat, to the fullback, to the tight end, to the, to the running back, screens, just easy throws where he can get into the game, and then unloading a bomb every once in a while, just go for it early on, be aggressive, and take advantage of New England's conservative coverage and blitzing style. The Patriots do tend to play a lot of man coverage, especially in downs that they really need to get the stop. I think that the Patriots have been, more often than not, watching them as a fan, they've been stressed out a lot in the secondary when they're having to play teams that are very good with pick plays, very good with switch routes, very good with bunches, just guys that, really confuse them, and teams that really confuse them are teams that are able to get them into, really uncomfortable man coverage situations, crossing routes. We've seen teams that have been able to do this, and I think that the Eagles can scheme a way to getting these players open and putting stress on the secondary, and that will be key also, especially on third down and when you're going to need to make those plays on third and long. I think the Eagles obviously need to stay balanced, but they also need to think about managing the clock in this game. You are playing on the other side. You're always thinking about your opponent and what they do best. What the Patriots do best is Tom Brady and the ball in his hands, and you want to take as much time away from Tom Brady as possible. You want to go down the field and you want to chew clock, but you also want to think about, scoring first, but you need to think about, okay, let's get a long drive here. Let's not, obviously you want to score in one play, but against a guy like Tom Brady, he could easily just go back down the field and score again. And the more that Tom Brady has the ball, the more he's wearing your defense out, and that's not what you want. You want your defense to be able to play fast the entire game. You want your offense and your offensive line to be able to wear out this young defense. So I think that the Eagles really need to think about managing the clock offensively and wearing down the Patriots defense and keeping Tom Brady off the field. Again, I got to this a little bit, but aggressive first down play calling. If you need to throw a bomb every once in a while on first down, throw a bomb. Be aggressive. You're playing in the Super Bowl. Make plays. You're going to need to make and to win the Super Bowl. Last thing offensively, they need to go with Ajayi. Clement in some passing situations, but limit Blunt's activity. Maybe in the 5-yard line, 10-yard line, when he's in the red zone, when he's able to rumble, and when he's in those I formations and those big sets, and you're able to run him downhill, then do it that way. But I think Ajayi and Clement will be the most effective backs in this game for the Eagles, and that's what they need to stick with. Now, switching to the opposite side of the field, this is the side that is obviously the more intriguing matchup. Philadelphia, very good defense all season long. They're playing what I would consider the best offense in the NFL, in the New England Patriots and Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski and all that they offer. The number one thing, and everyone's going to bring it up all week long, is the interior pressure from the Philadelphia Eagles. And The Patriots have played numerous teams, but they have not played, I would say, as powerful of an interior rush as the Philadelphia Eagles have with Fletcher Cox and Timmy Jernigan. Both of these guys have the ability and the advantage over a guy like Joe Thuney, who is kind of mismatched at the left guard position. If they're able to take advantage of that in pass protection and in pass rushing against Tom Brady, then they'll have a very successful day. I don't think there's going to be a ton of success from the edges of the Eagles, but obviously if you can get that pressure, it helps. But against Tom Brady, it's usually about pushing the pocket, because when you push the pocket on Tom Brady, he's not able to step up. When you have an edge rush and you go around, the Patriots offensive linemen are told and are designed to push those guys behind Brady so that he's able to step back and make the throw. It's rare that you see an edge sack on Brady because he steps up, he throws, or he throws the ball away, or he dumps it off. When there's a sack from the edge, it's because he simply takes the coverage sack because nobody is open. But usually when you see blitzes and rushes from the middle of the field on Tom Brady, that's most often when there is a sack on the Patriots. So hit Brady, hit him often, and hit him right where it hurts. Then bump the receivers and take them off their routes. The Eagles conventionally and usually play a very soft zone coverage. I think they need to throw that out the window this week. I know it's not really good to not do what you're good at, but I think we've seen teams in the past kind of get away with what they're good at and just go at the Patriots, and that usually fares better. Try and take away what they do. Don't sit in what you do, because they'll burn you if you do that. So for me, I think, mess with the receivers, bump them off their routes, and really take advantage of the fact that there's no Julian Edelman out there. There simply isn't, and Julian Edelman was that go-to receiver who could beat a guy one-on-one all day long. And I know the Eagles don't have the greatest corners in the world, but we even saw it with the Dolphins earlier this year. If you're able to bump and be aggressive and physical on their receivers, this can take Brady a little bit more time for your pass rush to get there, and then you have success. Force New England to run. I think this is a huge point, and I actually think this is a point that teams need to do more. New England doesn't like to run the ball. I mean, they can do it, and they're decent at it, but overall, focus on the pass, play your nickel defense, and force them to run. If they're going to beat you running the ball, let them beat you running the ball. I'd rather the Patriots beat you with 200 yards rushing than Tom Brady throwing 400 yards passing. So for me, play your nickel defense, and allow your number one rush defense and your defensive line, your strength of your team, stop the run by themselves and just say, hey, we're going to take everything you do away. If you can run on us, fine, but we don't think you can with our nickel defense out there because we're such a good defensive line and we're such a good run defense through that set. So it's going to be interesting. To me, the Eagles just need to start dictating what they're going to do instead of allowing New England to dictate what the other team does. One of these huge points that I thought Jacksonville did extremely well against New England, which kept the game in their favor for a large majority, was they were tackling very well. And I know this is a very simple thing, and it's often a fundamental of the football, but tackling effectively and not allowing yards after catch against a team like New England is amazingly effective. Because if you see so many plays with New England where it's a 3-yard dump off to James White and he makes a guy miss, all of a sudden it's 7 yards. And then you're in 2nd and 3. But if, like we saw last week, they throw it to Dion Lewis and it's right at the line of scrimmage and he gets 1 yard, then it's 2nd and 9 and you're in a comfortable position for defense. So I thought that Jacksonville's speed and their ability at linebacker really did a good job. I don't know if the Eagles have that same skill and definitely don't have that same speed, but if they can tackle effectively, especially on 1st and 2nd down, and limit yards after catch, then they're sitting pretty in this game. Pack the middle of the field is the last note defensively. Pack the middle of the field, force Hogan and Cooks to beat you. Don't allow Amendola and Gronk to beat you. Do as much as you can against the running backs. I think that's going to be an area of weakness for the Eagles in this game. And obviously Gronk is very hard to cover, but force Brady to throw it outside because, he has less trust and those guys have less ability than the guys in the inside. So for me, those are my points on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively, on how I believe that the Eagles can win this Super Bowl and get the upset over the New England Patriots. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think the score is going to be for the Super Bowl. If you're an Eagles fan, did I miss anything? If you're a Patriots fan, did I miss anything in terms of what you think could be taken advantage of on the Patriots? And then if you're an Eagles fan, did I miss anything that you think that they could take advantage of the Patriots on the Patriots this Sunday? It's Mitch of the Bottom Line View. Hope you guys enjoyed once again. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We do NFL content pretty much every single day, and throughout the offseason, it will be jam-packed with coverage. So if you enjoyed this one, you'll enjoy those videos as well. It's Mitch from the Bottom Line View. Like the video, and peace out.